Hey everybody, late Friday night Banter Blitz. Today, the next episode, and Exhausted Young Father edition. Guys, it reminds me of the old song of The Doors, Strange Days Have Found Me. Of course, it's not the days when instead of everything around me, I just see Pampers, Pampers, Pampers. But I have a strong feeling that this sort of situation is coming, and there is no way to avoid it, actually. So before it happened, I offered to play some chess. So, just as usual, let me know what is going on to the quality of the sound and the picture in the chat. So, Kramnik student is here. Andre doesn't look very fresh, so you have a good chance, Alakin. Yeah, Kramnik student is kind of, how to say, the most frequent follower, probably, of my live shows, so he definitely knows about me almost everything. So, Alakin, you should just follow the advice of Kramnik student. Okay, just a sec. Yep, here it is, our playing window, and let's play. So, good sound, good video, everything looks and sounds good, very nice. So, it means it's just time to start playing chess. Let's have a look. So, the first challenger is R. Mortensen 88. Let's accept it. So, I'm playing black. Yeah, I'm playing black. So I was 2900. I decided to train a bit, and I'm 2800. So you can see what it takes, what it means to be a father. So you train, but you become worse. Okay, d4 knight f6. c4 e6. By the way, there is the problem for me. I start seeing the board differently, so it looks strange a bit. Very strange ideas come to my mind. I don't know. Okay, f3, the main answer is d5. Let's try knight to c6. That is what I'm talking about. So strange moves, strange ideas. What white will do? e4? Or what? Or a3? Well, Alakin says, but in this banter to 2700, Andre. Okay, I will try to do my best not to drop my rating so much. I'm sorry. My voice is also not the best one. A3, okay. So takes on c3 and b6, and one of a sudden knight on c6 is not that bad, because it will go to a5 to attack c4. So it's kind of transposition to white's forced move a3, right? So the same system, the same position. Okay, bishop a6. So white has a strong center, white has pair of bishops, but there is a drawback, this weak pawns, c4, c3, a3, and so on. So, queen e2, okay. There are different moves. Let's try just simple castling. I do believe I don't lose anything here, but probably, well, castling wasn't the best decision. Okay, instead of castling, as far as I remember, something like queen e7 could be played, preparing castling long. Yeah, so castling long looks more sound in this position. But okay, so I have played what I've played, and there is no chance to change anything anyway. So let's try to be a bit cocky. g5. Orest Vovk says, Привет, Андрей. Вітаю, Orest. Bishop f2. Okay, knight to h5. g3. So white is definitely better here, but what can I do? Let's try to come up with some counterplay at least. Okay, interesting question, by the way. Andre, I'm playing an over-the-board weekender tournament with 60 minutes plus 2 seconds for 7 rounds over the next 2 days, long days of chase. Any advice on keeping up energy and concentration between the games? Well, try to avoid analysis. Try to avoid analysis between the games. So I know it's very tempting, for example, when you finish the game, right, to analyze it with your opponent, but try not to do this because it grabs a lot of energy, according to my experience. And also try not to load your brain with something not chess related. That is my advice. Okay. I do hope it will be sort of useful information. Okay, knight e2. I have this awful pawn on g5. That is really annoying. What to do? I have no idea. So position looks awful. Absolutely. Let's take on e4. At least I want to create some vulnerabilities in white's camp. So to have some objects of attack, I don't know. So, if white plays d5, well, if white, first of all, if white takes on c5, I will be happy, extremely happy, just grabbing the queen. If white plays d5, then probably I will have some chances attacking this e4 pawn. And also, e5 square will be weakened a bit. Of course, I understand it doesn't really matter, because, well, position is absolutely open. This bishop potentially might be really annoying, but okay. I should play something, right? I can't just, lose the game. So I have to do something in this position. Knight g3. Yeah, knight goes to f5. That's bad. I should say, that's really bad. Okay. Let's kick this knight. So the knight anyway goes to f5. Very bad. Very bad position. I don't really know what to do. Okay, let's probably come back with the knight to the center. Knight f5. Yeah. Position is very bad. Position is very bad. What to do? So the first task is just to, and the main one I think is just not to be checkmated. This is very important in this position. So can I play queen d7? I hope so, but looks absolutely bad. So no center. Well, I control the center with the pieces, but of course, yeah, it's not like controlling it with the help of pawns. But e5, come on, is it really possible? I mean, can't I just take on e5? Yeah, I don't understand. So knight h6 check, king to g7, knight f5 check. Okay, to h8 for instance. Yeah, it doesn't look like a wrong move. I mean, knight takes e5. So d4 was pinned. Looks like a blunder. But of course, position was absolutely winning for white. Of course, maybe I just overestimate white's chances, but it looked like So a lot of weaknesses in black's camp, a lot of awful holes. I don't know, no center, bishop, which is at the moment maybe not that active, but potentially a beast. So yeah, position was very bad. I think that castling short was the main reason of my troubles, because yeah, it makes more sense just to castle long there. Because if I play queen e7 instead of castling short, then this h6 g5 is not that awful, right? So yeah, it's also a weakening, but maybe not that critical one. Okay, so where the bishop goes? Oh, here. Okay. Forgot about this square. No surprises. Maybe you are surprised that I miss so simple moves, but for me it is no longer a surprise. As I said, I just play very strange chess. That position is just a piece of you know what. But at least some extra material, right? Not that pity. What is going on? Let's go here. E6. Wow. I don't understand. Let's take it. And let's come back. Yeah, now I understand, but it's too late. Okay. So let's just win on time. I can't see anything better than that. Yeah. Yeah. Very strange game. Very strange game, but well, now you know what is my shape right now. Yeah, position was absolutely bad. So I think, yeah, castling short was too optimistic. So instead of that, something like I don't know, queen e7 could be played. d6 could be considered. d6 is a normal move here. Queen e7, preparing castling long, and so on. If white plays e5, okay, at some point it's possible even to go back to g8, not a problem. But then black just focuses on attacking c4 pawn. Also, at some point, if black doesn't like playing against pair of bishops, it's possible just to play knight b3, let's say, taking on c1, and so on. And well, white still has these weaknesses, and well, no longer pair of bishops, so no longer this great initiative along dark squares. Yep. Castling was bad. And for white, of course, yeah, e5 was a mistake. Instead of playing e5, almost everything was cool, including, I don't know, queen to g3, let's say. Normal move going away from, yeah, that pin. I mean, pawn d4 is no longer pinned. I can't take on e4 because of, or can I? I don't know. Rook takes c4. Of course, if rook takes c4, then queen g5, but queen takes f5. Looks possible, but I can't believe it is good for black. I don't know. Well, maybe queen d3. Queen g3 is too early. Maybe something else. I don't know. Maybe rook e3, by the way, is an interesting try. But then knight g4, right? Well, there are some tricks, of course. Maybe bishop to g3, just controlling e5 and preparing e5. Yeah, also possible. Yeah, bishop to g3 looks good. Now there is a threat of knight h6 at some point. Yeah, should be just winning a couple of moves. Okay. So let's continue. Kremnik student says, give Zenfrog a game so he will be prepared. Well, of course I will. Because Zenfrog is just one of the first challengers today, and I think I will do just one by one. Yeah, the third challenger. So first I played to Butterfly, who is the second, and yeah, the next will be against Zenfrog. Okay. E4. So it looks like I play white against butterfly for the first time in my life. Well, because as far as I remember, almost all the games were played with black, and it was a crazy gambit. Yeah. A6, bishop c4. E6 and a4. Okay, so it's a good idea when you're not in a good shape just to play at least what you know. What you know well, right? Because if you try experimenting, well, you have great chances just to confuse everything easily and lose. Okay. So what is going on? Butterfly. It shouldn't be a novelty because I play this, well, just every single Banter Blitz session. Yeah. B6 is playable move. B6 is playable move. The only drawback is that diagonal h1 a8 is now kind of vulnerable, so maybe I will have some tricks based on this. Let's see. So first I have to go away with the bishop, of course. It was hanging on c4. Bishop e7. So now what? f4 immediately? Yeah, let's try f4. With the idea of f5. Oh, knight c6. I still can play f5, I guess. Yeah, let's play f5. Attacking that e6. Probably black will just capture on d4. The question, Andre, are you also planning to do a German and an English Banter Blitz like Chess explained? Definitely not at the moment, because my German is sehr, sehr schlecht. So, I don't speak German fluently, okay? So, it's not enough for making shows, right? Castles. So now at least black cannot develop the bishop on b7. That is very good, because e6 is under attack. So where should I develop my bishop? It's possible to develop it, let's say, on e3 at the moment. Looks like I just attacking b6, right? Rook b8. Yeah, that was predicted. So maybe b5 is prepared already. Maybe it's not the case. So what will be if I play bishop b3? If I play bishop b3, knight g4 might be not very good for me. So maybe it makes sense for me just to spend the time on h3 move. Let's do it. At some point, maybe I will play g4. So it will be useful, right? And I just prevented this knight g4 forever. Of course, this move also has drawbacks. It weakens dark squares around my king. This might be not very pleasant. But at the moment, I can't see any problem with that. Okay, let's take it. Now bishop to b3 should be played, I guess. Just protecting c2, because I can't really stop b4. And after b4, c2 was hanging. Now it doesn't. So the knight should go away, of course. Let's do knight e2. And by the way, bishop b3 helped my rook a1 to be better. And e5. Well, I guess it's playable. Okay. I have no choice. I have to protect e4. Now again, I think I have no choice. I have to protect e4. And now again, I have no choice. I have to protect e4. So bishop g5. I do hope it's not a blunder, but it might be. It might be a blunder. Maybe I already blundered everything. So maybe bishop a4 should be played here just to prevent the capture on e4. Because after bishop g5, knight e4 is still possible. Or am I blundering everything? So knight e4, bishop takes e7, then knight somewhere with the threat of queen g2. Do I have a... Yeah, I should have the defense there, right? So bishop g5. Okay. Knight takes e4, bishop takes e7. I'm not sure. I'm sort of, yeah, debating. But okay, let's do it. I think there is nothing serious. Of course, knight e4 leads to bishop takes g5, right? And then g2 is hanging. But here I guess I'm fine. And now what? Bishop to a4 wins the exchange, for instance. But I don't want to grab this exchange. Whew, I want something more positional than bishop d5 simply. Yeah, it was stupid. It was a blunder, more or less, but okay. Still, I like my position. Maybe it's exaggeration, I don't know. Yeah, I do something very strange. I know. So my knight is definitely better than the bishop, but why I just lost so many pawns, I have no idea. Okay. Let's take this pawn, I guess. Yeah. Pawns are pawns after all. Oh, come on. What? Yeah, I've blundered a lot, but that was just, you know, all in. Queen takes f5. Come on. Just to drop in the queen. Thanks a lot, Butterfly, because without this help, I'm afraid I would have lost, simply. So, yeah, I was in a good position after bishop g5. I've lost lots of time calculating this strange knight takes e4. Because after knight e4, if I take on e4, of course, bishop takes g5 is possible. So I can't take the bishop because g2 is hanging. But, well, bishop e7 is okay. And the knight has no this good discovery. I know, knight c5, okay, I just go away with the queen, protecting g2. Knight g3, queen takes g3. Knight f2 or knight e2, I just take with the heavy piece and I protect g2. And my bishop is now hanging on e7, so I just up a minor piece here. So bishop g5 is a normal move. After rook e8, so of course bishop takes f6, bishop takes f6, and now this bishop d5 is just a stupid decision. Instead of that, I guess just king h1 deserves attention, right? Because I still control d5 square, and after king h1, there is no longer a threat of a check. So I have two threats: bishop a4, bishop d5. If queen goes away, let's say from this diagonal, from this both diagonals, right? So somewhere to c5, then I have knight h5 because e4 no longer hanging. Yeah, so this position should be better for white, I guess. It looks like that, at least. Just a typical pressure, typical advantage. Yeah. So, I don't know, king h1. King h1 should be played here in such a position. Just a normal prophylaxis, by the way. In a normal condition, I mean, I would have made this move, I think, in 10 cases out of 10. So just a natural idea. Bishop d5 is, yeah, just a blunder. I forgot about this diagonal. So queen c5, now bishop takes d5, pawn takes d5, rook c8. Again, another blunder of the c2 pawn was absolutely not forced. So it's possible even to play rook c1 here, I guess. Now it's looking awful, of course. Okay, bishop g5, knight e4, and let's say queen to e3. Yeah, so I definitely lost a great portion of my advantage here. Yeah, so rook c1 doesn't look good. Yeah, but knight e4, I don't know, queen c2. Maybe here I have something. Knight f6, queen g3, king h8 simply. Or king f8 is even better, maybe. Or I have something there. Let's see. Takes, queen g3 check. If king h8, then queen h4, right? Just attacking f6. King g7. Do I have anything here? I'm not sure. So rook g f3 with the idea of rook g3 looks tempting. At some point I can occupy the 7th rank, which is also very interesting. Yeah, this could be something. If king goes to f8 in this situation, I think I can do the same, just attacking f6, because if king goes to e7, I have this rook a7. But now I've just noticed that rook c7 probably solves all black's problems, and potentially this b pawn might be very, very, very dangerous. Okay, not clear at all. So yeah, just a normal game. Well, queen f5. I mean, normal game for my opponent, not for me. Queen f5. Just one of a sudden, I don't know the reason why it was blundered, but yeah, not this move, and black is okay. Well. Just a sec. I want to check if I had anything after queen h5. Here, I think there is nothing. So even just g6 is all right. Yeah, even g6 is all right. Yeah, let's forget about it. Just like about the nightmare. So the next challenger is Zenfrog. Let's play. And I play with black. So let us train you, my friend, before your tournament, right? But maybe I'm not the greatest partner at the moment because I play shit. Okay, let's play Catalan. So castles. I will play d5 right now because e4 is already a threat. Crowning student says lucky day. For Andre, crowning student, be prepared, you are the next. So cd5. Rook e1. Rook e1. What is going on? White prepares e4? Maybe. Okay, anyway, I wanted to occupy the square with the bishop. It looks strange when you have a chance to play bishop a6, but bishop a6 makes sense in Catalan when white still has a pawn on c4, so this exerts pressure on the center. When there is no longer a pawn on c4, this bishop simply occupies this a6 f1 diagonal, which is not that important in my opinion. What is really important is to prevent e4, because e4 makes bishop g2 very active in many cases. That's why I prefer developing the bishop here. Rook c1. So, what is going on? So bishop c7 or something? I don't know. No, I don't think that bishop c7 is a serious threat here. There are different ways of playing this position. I think that knight c6 is just okay. So I just complete development, I want to play rook c8. At some point I will play b5, just grabbing the space and so on. Yeah, a3, one of possible moves, no questions. So white also wants to play b4, but this will weaken c4. And probably I will have some chances after that. So let's play rook c8. I definitely have to be careful about my time today. I mean, on the clock, because usually there's a big problem for me. And taking into account my shape, it's probably very, very critical. I have no idea what to do here because position is so dry. It looks absolutely drawish to me. Let's play queen d7, okay, protecting everything. b6 is hanging. Okay, let's protect b6. Of course, without this knights on c6 and f3, this b5 is not that cool, because usually b5 supports the knight on c4. Here I don't have a chance to occupy c4 with the knight quickly, but maybe I will do this with my rook. I don't know. Oh, e4. So white wants to change the pawn structure finally. Okay, let's see what it leads to. I'm not sure that it was a good idea, because isolated pawn is on d4, but it's not the worst, I guess. d4 is simply hanging now. I don't know how to protect it. Maybe just rook d1, right? Yeah, rook d1 should be okay. But then, well, first of all, I have a pair of bishops already, and maybe I'll just keep attacking d4 pawn. Yeah, I think I have already more than a good position. Fact is that I definitely equalized, which is already very cool when you play with black, but I think I can expect even more than just an equality. A sip of coffee is needed. By the way, coffee is my only hope these days, but it doesn't help. It doesn't help. Yeah. I badly need to make friends with Master Yoda. Whew. Yeah, to learn how to feel the force, for example. There are a lot of things that I can learn from Master Yoda, I think. Okay, knight takes e4. What will be the most natural way of playing here? Bishop takes d4 should be just all right. I do believe this. I can't see a refutation, so let's take it. Bishop, sorry, queen to b4. Okay. Knight to d6 is it a threat? It could be. It could be. Let's take this knight. I think it's just the most dangerous piece, potentially. Now, let's support the bishop. It is very cool here in d4. I have extra pawn. There are a lot of heavy pieces still on the board, so the opposite colored bishops are not a sign of a draw in such a situation. Okay, what to do now? I have to improve my queen. I think queen e6, then rook d4. Yeah, it's not a good idea for me. What else? f5 is too much. not the time for such a move. So let's start with rook d8, just centralizing everything. And now I think queen e6 is possible. Yeah, a6 is protected. And probably I can just attack something finally. But the time is a problem. Have to be faster. It was needed to unpin my bishop because, yeah, f takes e5 is coming. Let's fix the weakness. And king is here. Yeah, I like my position. And it should be winning gradually. Okay, so my opponent resigned. By the way, a good game. More or less, well, was confused in the opening. So for instance, I don't like the idea of c takes d5 so early. cd5, cd5. Well, after that, black has no problems actually. Well, maybe it is a good approach if you want to make a draw with white, of course. So if you play accurately and don't make great mistakes, well, let's say this can work against a higher rated opponent. So maybe, yeah, it's a good idea in the tournament. All right. But if you want really to fight, then, well, knight e5 should be considered on queen c2, just normal Catalanian moves. And a bit later, I think e4 is not great here. So, well, you can try to prepare e4 with the help of f3 move and then e4, but in that case also you won't have the pressure against d5, so I will just ignore that, right? In many cases, black can ignore e4 in general, so just allow even white to play e4, e5, grabbing the space, but still having this a8, h1 diagonal closed, right? That is the best strategy for black. So black actually does everything here to make opponents g2 bishop passive, right? So Catalanian bishop, white wants to do everything to activate it, black does everything to prevent that. That is kind of philosophy for both sides. Yeah, so e4 was a bit dubious. Maybe it deserved attention to do something with the knight c3. So after I played b5, we can see that c5 might be a problem. So some maneuvers that were connected with the knight b1, knight d2, knight b3 could be considered, I think. Yeah, so something like that. So e4 is definitely not good. After that, I had very easy play. Okay. Let's continue. Chronic student. Let's play. I accept your challenge and I play with white. Well, probably it will be Sicilian. As far as I remember, Chronic student likes playing Sicilian. Yeah. Knight f3. Maybe even knight f. Again. I know, let's play this. I have never played that, but it might be interesting. As far as I remember, it was introduced by... no, I don't remember who played it first. So, bishop g2. Can I play this way? I think, yeah. Why not? It's like Carey's attack. I think it's a transposition to one of the variations. Okay, f4, h5, g6 is my plan, but first I have to complete a development, I guess. So bishop e3 should be played. Oh, Duke Crusher. Hi, everyone says. Hi, Duke Crusher. You're welcome. As usual. But I'm not sure I will be alive at the moment when I will have a chance to accept your challenge. Yep. I'm already playing for some time and I feel like, yeah, I'm fighting with falling asleep. It's very bad situation. Okay, let's play f4. Yeah, and I think knight takes e3 is not the greatest move. Of course, it was tempting to do this, but I guess knight on c4 was a long-term source of headache for white. So probably something connected with the b5, maybe immediately, maybe after some preparation, deserved more attention than this. Okay, knight c5, then what? f5. It's time for f5, I guess. Of course, without this dark squared bishop, it will be harder for me to get the opponent's king, but still, my opponents might become very, very annoying. Very, very promising. Can I just play something really simple like rook f1 and then f6? Does it make any sense? Or it's better for me just to play sort of queen g3 move here, preparing this f6, or maybe f6 right now. F6 takes, bishop takes. What is that? Queen g3 check. King goes away. I think I actually have nothing there. Yeah. h5 and then g6. That is interesting. Yeah, that is interesting for sure. Yeah, let's try it. I don't know. I hope I don't blunder anything with this move. Duke Crusher says, I will spare you the torture of playing me to die. I'm tired myself. Okay. Oh, the drunken lower asks, Orest, are you related to Andriy Wovk? Orest, how many times you were asked this question? Come on. So there is a checkmate or something on a1, so let's prevent it. Of course, no checkmate, but could be an annoying check. Anyway, so I have 3 pawns there, f5, g5, h5. They are ready for the show. Rest Fox says no. Oh, come on. So, Black started thinking, for sure. It is not the pleasant thinking process because position is kind of, well, I think at very least annoying for Black. There are so many pawn moves that should be considered. f6, followed by taking an f6, or f6 followed by g6, or g6 first, or maybe even h6, who knows. b5, come on, is it really possible? I mean, e5 is now, will be something devastating. I have a feeling. Or just g6 first, I don't know. There are so many cool moves, it looks like that. But f6 should be the best one, I guess. Yeah, let's try f6. First of all, this. Now e5, let's say d5, and then g6, or g6 right now. G6 now should be something. Yeah, I should be quick. Just let's play g6 and see what is going on. Oh, f takes. Okay, h takes. It's still not winning? I can't believe it. So let's say e5, d5, knight takes d5, ed5, bishop d5. Now there will be rook d5. Okay, not very cool. Okay, f7, king goes to h8. There are so many different things possible. Or f takes g7, then rook takes h6. Or rook takes h6 right now, and then g7, or something like that. Or just queen to f4. Let's try e5 first. And now, queen to f4. Yeah. Check. Check. And checkmate on h7. Yeah. So, that was a terrific game. So I like attacking like this. So actually here I even calculated an interesting variation, like, well, let's imagine that black plays something like, I don't even know, rook a7, let's say, protecting the 7th rank, like protecting f7 square. So here I wanted to do something like f7, king here, rook takes h6, but I do believe it is not correct, but let's just see if it works. Check, bishop to g7, and now rook to h1, creating a threat of rook h6 checkmate. Takes on f6, pawn takes here. Is it winning or not? So rook h6 is just a threat of a checkmate. So rook takes f7 is probably the only defense. And, well, it's probably not a checkmate. Oh, PT. PT enough. Okay, but could be really cool. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, probably it's not necessary to play queen f6, so maybe rook h1 immediately, creating the threat of rook takes h6 should be winning. Also, because I attack with 4 pieces, including my pawns here, and yeah, black protects himself with 1 bishop only, right? Yeah, but rook h1 here, I guess, just the end. So now queen f6 is a threat, followed by rook h6 or rook h6 immediately. Also with the checkmate very soon. Yeah, no chances. Okay, anyway. So how to play this correctly? I think there are many ways. I'm not an expert in Carey's attack, but I think that taking on e3 wasn't a good idea. So knight takes b2 doesn't work here. King takes b2, there is nothing. But something like b5 is interesting. Yeah, just preparing bishop b7, preparing b4, just a normal Sicilian play. So bishop b7 followed by, let's say, rook f8 to c8 to have bishop f8. This f8 square, at least for both minor pieces, you never know. The knight or the bishop will be needed there. Maybe the bishop, maybe the knight. So it depends. But b5 followed by bishop b7 should be played here, for sure. And the knight on c4 will exert pressure. So once the rook is on c8, there will be a threat of knight b2. In many cases, black can even play something like knight a3, because taking on a3 leads to queen c3 with the awful pawn structure for white, and knight on a3 creates threats to c2's pawn, so b4, and so on. Yeah. Again, so Trollfjord Peddler says, Crowning student, you missed a chance with knight b2. Where? Come on. So the only chance was here. Knight takes b2. What is going on? So takes on b2, so what? I don't understand. There is nothing, right? Yeah, f6 is controlled. c8 is blockaded, so black has no follow-up. Knight b6, I just take with the bishop and that's it. So extra minor piece. Yeah. So knight c4, f4. After that, immediately black took on e3, so no more chances, right? Okay. Challenges. Let's continue. So the next was Die Kraut and the next Alakinin. So let's play Die Kraut. By the way, a very tough opponent. And finally I play white, so yeah. Because two previous games I played with black and I had serious problems, I think. Or maybe I confused something. Maybe I played with white already against this guy, but well, he's tough. That's what I can say. Queen e2. This is sort of, yeah, exchanged variation. So it's very close. It's very close to that. Let's play bishop g5 here. Let's try it. Oh. What is going on? Can I just take on e5? I don't know. Queen d4, attack on b2. Might be annoying. Slightly. Really. So maybe first knight to d2, right? Yeah, just continue in development. h6, and now the question is where to go. I think h4 is a good square. Because if g5, I play bishop g3, and e5 is attacked twice. And now e5 is kind of hanging, I guess. Finally. Yeah. Bishop d6. Well. Can I play knight c4? So bishop takes c4, dc4. What is that? Very strange position. Very strange position. But might be interesting to try, so let's try it. Black will definitely take, I think. And now I wanted to castle here. And to try to use h6 as a hook with g4, g5. My bishop is theoretically a bit better than black's one, but might be not Not that important at all. Okay, anyway. Yeah, there is nothing, I think. Simply nothing. Except for probably some tricks. Okay, can I take on b5 finally? Maybe there is something. I don't know. Let's try it. Okay, if I take the queen, then f takes e6 probably. Prepared. Yeah, very, very interesting. So how to avoid all this? I have to improve the position of my knight somehow. I'm not sure how to do this, because knight a4 is also a threat. Very annoying one. Maybe taking on e6 is not that dangerous after all. Let's say f takes e6, knight goes to d2. I mean, f2 is protected, and if knight a4 there, then maybe knight to b3. But it looks ugly. Maybe knight c4 instead, in that variation. Let's try it, but I have a feeling that it is wrong. On the other hand, I didn't see a suitable defense against knight a4. It was really annoying. Looked really annoying at least. Okay, now I have to come up with some smart prophylaxis, I think. So first of all, I'm not satisfied with the position of my king on b1. What else can I improve here? So bishop to g3 first, because bishop on h4 does nothing. Now there should be played something like knight b3, I guess, otherwise I just lose the exchange. Yep. e4 is hanging, so my rook is being activated a bit. And 1 minute 30 seconds. I have to be faster. h4. I have extra pawn, but yeah, now I have extra minor piece in addition. Yeah, lucky me. I just take everything what I want here. g6 or yeah, g6 is also possible. Absolutely winning. So yeah, I think my position was good. So of course c5 wasn't forced. It's a serious blunder, but I already won a pawn. So my opinion that b5 was too much. Yes, I understand that probably it was pre-moved because, well, b5 makes sense when the king is not on b1, right? Because if cb5 then queen a2 is annoying. So here it made sense just to prepare it carefully. Or maybe the best plan is just to play something like, I don't know, rook somewhere, knight f8, knight g6. Right, and black is fine. It is also possible to transfer this knight to e6. So also, I can't see anything serious for white here. So maybe bishop g3 followed by knight h4, and then after g6, knight f5 is sacrificed at some point. But, well, I don't feel like this will be dangerous at any moment. So maybe even rook to b8 could be played here. Just a normal move preparing b5, right? Yeah, so black should be okay. a5, a4, and so on. But anyway, I'm happy that I finally managed to beat the crowd in a more or less normal style. I mean, without this playing on time and so on and so on. Okay, let's continue. The next is Alakin. And 5 minutes, finally, my friend. You don't trick me with this 3-minute offer. I accept. I accept with pleasure. Let's play. e5. Knight f3, knight c6. So bishop c4. No, d4. Okay. The main line. Yes, the main line. f4. Okay, so it's probably one of possible moves here. And probably a5 is also one of possible moves. There are a lot of possible moves in this variations. They are quite tricky. Many nuances. Oh. Headache. Queen e4. So queen b4 is interesting, queen e6 is interesting. Queen e6 leads to f5, right? So let's start with g6 move. And then queen e6. Yeah. So now queen e6 is playable. Oh, c4. So you drop c4? Or you want to just crush me after f5? Okay, maybe I have to start with the bishop c5 check. And then to take on c4. Not quite sure, but let's do it. Looks a bit more solid. And now bishop takes c4. So bishop takes c4, f5. Well, I can take on f5, I think, yeah? Yeah. So I'm okay with that. By the way, if you don't understand why a5 was played, it was kind of preparation of this attack against c4. So whenever white plays b3, I have a4 with further attack, or at least getting rid of this bad pawn. Because in my pawn structure, there is only one serious drawback, this pawn. Okay, queen f3. What is next? How to play this? Knight e4 is coming. That is the main threat, I think. So let's just protect f6 square. b3, well, going to e6 looks like a good position for my queen after all. Bishop here, and now what? a4, finally getting rid of this weakness. Yeah, I think it is just in time. Very strange position. Despite black has an extra pawn, it is not that simple to play such a position. So should I just simplify it or not? Knight to d5 deserves attention. Knight f6 after that, bishop takes, pawn takes, let's say castling. Will I be checkmated there, or everything is alright? I think everything is alright, of course. So let's put the knight in this good central position. Rook e1, now creating a threat of knight f6, so I should probably just castle. The question is where? Still interesting question, but I think I just have to do this. I have to do something with that bishop b2 at some point. Maybe to play a3, maybe to take on b3, then rook a2. Sort of counterplay. I don't know, position is very strange. Very, very strange. Yeah, g4, the most promising continuation, no questions. Now I have an interesting idea just to grab f4 pawn with the knight and then take on b3. So I will have 3 pawns to compensate my missing minor piece, but I will be crushed after knight f6, I guess. Yeah. A takes b3 immediately just leads to f5, trapping my queen. There are also some ideas connected with bishop b4 now. And bishop b4 should be a normal move, but then f5 looks, yeah, very, very, yeah. You understand what I mean. Maybe bishop h4 with the same idea. Yeah, it looks very, very strange. Let's try it. Five and say queen here. Very strange position, I know. And very challenging. I think white has great chances to win. But right now I think I have managed to protect everything most critical, but maybe I'm mistaken simply. So now the question, will I be checkmated or not? So first I think I have to occupy this square with the queen active position. Very interesting position, but no time to understand what is going on. That is what happens against Alakin in every time. Let's take the rook. Yeah, let's take the rook. Yeah, it's a blunder. I forgot about knight g5. Fuck. Sorry. And that's true. But maybe it's not that losing. And I have queen h4. And I'm a rook up, after all. Yeah, very tough game. Very tough game. It's a real challenge. It's a real challenge. Queen h6 wasn't possible because of queen e4 check and then queen e3 exchanging queens. That was calculated, of course. Yeah, fantastic. But still, I don't have enough time. If queen goes to g2, then knight e3 finishes this tough. Yeah. And in this situation, I'm just a rook up. Should be winning. But why I play king h7, I don't know. Should be still okay for me. Just extra rook, right? But 20 seconds. That is what scares me a lot. Yeah, no time. No time. Ah, what a pity. What a pity. Come on. With the extra rook. With the extra rook, I didn't win the game. Yeah, but it was absolutely winning, of course. In the end. Yeah, one of a sudden, this combination with queen h3 didn't work. So, it was very interesting. So, the critical moment here that after bishop e1, If white plays queen h6, then queen e4 check. And after king g1, queen e3 check, exchanging queens. So no checkmate. No checkmate. Which means that, yeah, after queen b4, white should have played rook e2 or something like that, which gives me some time. Some time for something. I'm not sure if I can use this time normally. So if queen h3, then g5. I have this g5 move at least. So maybe a takes b3 should be played here. And if takes on b3, then rook a2, creating a threat of taking on b2 in case white's queen goes away and rook e2 is not protected. So position is extremely complicated. To prevent checkmating threat on g7, I have to move my rook from f8 somewhere, of course. And yeah, I will have queen f8 and something. Well, just a mess. Thanks a lot, Alakin. Very good game, very interesting one. Great experience. So, let us continue. Let us continue. The next guy, Tempestly or Tempestly 18, right? Accept. Yeah. Whew. d4, knight f6. So, c4, b6. Bishop b7. So what is it? A hybrid variation. No, just e3. Okay. There are a lot of possibilities. Let's say bishop b4, still fighting for e4 square. After bishop d3, it might be a transposition to one of the lines of Rubinstein variation. But bishop d2 still could be a transposition after bishop d3 though. So let's see. Oh, bishop e2 too passive in my opinion. So let's keep developing the pieces. So white has pair of bishops, of course, but I control most important squares, so I feel fine here with this position. So c5 is a typical reaction against this b4, c4, d4. The drunken lover says, Robert, update your stream. Yeah, because Robert Kender just comments. Looks like still comments my game with Alakin. Very, very fun. Okay, queen b3. So b takes c5, d takes c5. It's okay. Probably I want to take with the b pawn, so maybe I want my bishop to be protected. Right, so let's play rook b8. Rook b8. And if bc5, maybe I will take with the b pawn as well. Rook d1. Also a playable move. Now it's time for me to think what to do next. Maybe just to take on d4, but then knight takes d4 and the question why I played rook to b8. So maybe I will keep this position, one move, just to see what my opponent wants to do. Probably just rook c1, yeah, just developing the pieces, yeah, very soon. Everything is just natural. Okay, h6. let's wait a bit. There is one interesting thing. In such a pawn structure, it is usually very tempting to occupy e4 square. But according to my experience, once you occupy e4 square, your problems start. So white has a clear plan just to play against this minor piece on e4, just attacking it and so on, exchanging it. Yep. So it's better just to control this square. That's why I don't play something like knight e4 or bishop e4 or anything else. Okay, so it looks like the only chance for me to justify the placement of my rooks is to take with the b pawn here. So let's take with the b pawn. Okay, bishop takes f3. Is it something? Bishop takes f3, then knight b6 attacking the queen, then cb4, and c4 is hanging. Bishop c6 immediately is also a move. But b5 then. Yeah, there is nothing. Knight b6 could be also considered. Queen takes a7, and then I have to protect my knight b6 to trap the queen. But I'm not sure it is okay for me. So let's try this. So if bishop takes, then c4 becomes vulnerable. If pawn takes, then it damages white's pawn structure, which is also not bad for me. I'll achieve at least some objects to attack. Yeah, now what to do? Knight to b6 I wanted to play. Just attacking the queen. So let's play it. Probably I also blundered something. I even know what I've blundered, but I won't tell it. Whew, bishop f6 was a great move. Yeah, just damaging the pawn structure or get into my pawns. So now I have a chance to improve that and to play e5 maybe. Just doing everything to make bishop c3 passive. Well, not passive, but limited, right, with my pawns. cb4 is also an interesting try because c4 is hanging, so this forces white probably to take with the bishop. But then d6 might be a problem for me. So I should understand if I have a chance to protect it. Yes, I have knight e8 move. Very nice one. So yeah, let's take on b4. And knight to e8 protecting d6. This creates some targets for me. c4, for example. Queen d3. Okay. So bishop d6 is in the air. Just a direct threat. Does it mean I should play rook d8? Doesn't look very promising, but what can I do? Let's do it. Bishop c6. Yeah, white's play is pretty cool. Just a straightforward and very good. Yeah, white outplayed me. Oh my god. Oh my god. No normal moves here. Simply, I lose the pawn for no compensation. Yeah, very stupid play for black. Yeah, bishop f3 was absolutely not correct. Absolutely. Yeah, anti-positional decision. Okay. Let's try to make at least a draw. Question. Andre, do you already have a name for a child? Yes, I do. But my knight on a4 is hanging, that's the problem. Do I have knight b6 here? I should be losing. Maybe not immediately. What a bad position, huh? Come on, what to do here? Rook? Yeah, lucky me. Well, actually, I had a very bad position. So bishop takes f3, bishop takes f3 was anti-positional decision. So after queen b3 also, I guess this rook b8 wasn't necessary. Let's go back to the opening stage just to see what happened. So bishop c3. By the way, it was possible to play knight e4 here just to exchange this bishop, after which position is probably just equal, right? I just take on c3 at any moment I want, so probably next move. And then knight e7, knight f6, so my second knight just replaces this one on f6. I do the same like in the game, but white no longer has this dark squared bishop, that's the point. Yeah, and the first moment, and after knight e7, castles, queen e7, c5, queen b3, well, definitely this rook b8 was sort of, I don't know, not very good decision, at very least. Maybe c takes d4, deserves attention here. Just defining the pawn structure. If e takes d4, then, well, I'm probably not that against, because now it's not that easy for white to come up with the further play. So I can play a6, it is kind of hedgehog, but of course not a real hedgehog, because for the real hedgehog there should be the pawn not on d4 but on e4. But still, this pawn structure is kind of very flexible for black, not very good for white. So white can actually take on d4 with the piece, with the knight or with the bishop, in which case it will be very close to hedgehog pawn structure. And again, it's just flexible, it's a kite. So in such a situation, for example, after bishop takes d4, usually black plays e5, just trying to occupy dark squares with pawns to compensate the missing dark squared bishop, right? To control dark squares, to limit the activity of opponent's dark squared bishop, which has no counterpart in this case. So on, so kind of typical stuff for this pawn structure. The question from Dungy, what about knight c8 to hold the pawn on d6? Oh, it was just awful anyway. Yeah, I saw the knight c8, but I didn't even consider it seriously because it looked very, very bad. Yeah, but probably it could have helped me to keep the material balance. Yeah, yeah. Alakin says, thanks for the game, Andre. See you next Friday. Yeah, hopefully. See you. Okay. The next challenger is a very tough one. Ningandin. Sorry for misreading it. Maybe I did it right, maybe not. So everything is possible. The guy rated 2600 plus. So let's play. And I play with white. Okay, e4. I think this game and maybe one more or two more. And, well, it will be the time to go and sleep a bit. Okay, let's try the same bishop c4. The same like against butterfly, I mean. Yeah. So bishop e7, yeah, main move. Okay, castles. Castles, bishop goes to e3. Yeah, knight takes e4 is one of possible moves, of course. So d5, yeah, bishop d3 takes e4, I guess. And here white has 3 against 2 on the queen side. Kinda little advantage, right? Knight to b3 is usually played here. So let's try knight to b3 to open up the d file. And if queens are being exchanged, in some cases white will have knight to a5 move. Also, this move supports the pawn a4 if it goes to a5. And at the same time, well, after knight d7, knight c5 was sort of a possibility for black, right? Not only knight f6, but also knight c5. So knight b3 is kind of prophylaxis against this knight c5. So controlling c5 looks important thing here. Okay, queen c7. So what now? To play a5 maybe? Yeah, playing a5 looks natural. Let's try a5. Simply fixing black's pawns on the queen side and also trying to underline the weakness of b6 square. So if knight goes away somewhere from d7 and it's possible to occupy b6 with the bishop, then why not to do that? It might be good. Also, rook a4 is now possible, so this strange rook lifts can be very annoying. Whew. Oh, it's very hard to stay awake. I have never been in such a state of mind. Oh, okay. Knight takes c5, and now bishop takes h7 or queen h5. Queen h5 leads to f5, right? So bishop takes h7 should be played. It's kind of typical tactic here. Lucky me. I knew this tactical pattern. Queen h5 check. And well, now the question to take with the pawn, with the bishop or with the queen. With the bishop looks more natural since I have some rook a4, rook h4 ideas. Let's take with the bishop, let's try it. Queen was... Taking with the queen was more solid. Oh, bishop b6 now. I just bishop b6. I'm very lucky in this game. This should be winning on the spot. Rook a4. That's why I played a5. The idea of the a5 becomes clear on the move number 21. Oh, yeah. For a completely exhausted person, I play not that bad chess, honestly. Or maybe I'm just very, very lucky. So how to checkmate? Or do I really need a checkmate? I don't know. Check. Takes g7 is just a guy for white. So, of course, knight c5 was a mistake, but in my opinion, this capture on e4 is already sort of an accuracy. In my opinion, it's better for black just to play normal queen c7, move, or knight c6, bishop d7. That is the main line. So knight e4 looks very tempting, and at first glance it looks like it solves all black's problems, but in fact the simplicity of this position may just fool you. In fact, it's not that simple as it looks at first glance, and well, white has a slight pressure, but this pressure is rather annoying. So the main problem for black here is the bishop c8, of course. So in many cases, even if position is being further simplified, so more pieces are being exchanged, well, this bishop remains on c8 in many cases, and well, white benefits from it. Just like in Catalan positions with the bishop on h1, a8 diagonal. So it looks like an equal position, but well, this bishop is not developed, or it is a big problem to develop it, or when you develop it, it's too late, and so on. And this, yeah, makes white's position better. So that is my opinion. Okay, white simply had a very pleasant situation already here. Yeah. So let's play, I think, some more. 1 or 2 games, not more, because yeah, I am completely exhausted. 3 minute I don't play. Don G, 5 minute is the next challenger. So let's play. Let's play this English. Oh, e4. Very interesting. This week against d4, so I think knight c6 should be played. And typically, black fights for this square this way. Yeah. What about just playing d6 now? g3. Well, well, well. Let's play knight e7. Bishop g2, castles. Knight e2. Now f5 looks very interesting. Let's play f5. Very logical, right? My bishop on c5 exerts pressure on f2. With the help of f5, I just try to open up the f file to add my rook to attack f2. That's the point. Bishop e3. Not very clear, but let's take it. And after I take on e4, white can't castle for some time. This might be good for me. Maybe I can use it somehow. What about d5? d5 is too much, I guess, but it should be considered because I have sort of advantage in development. Very slight one, probably, but still. I don't feel like I want to play this d5, at least right now. Maybe bishop g4 looks a bit better, but then h3. What else? Bishop e6. Knight f5. Knight f5 is also interesting. I don't even know what to do. There are so many different possibilities. That is exactly what happens to me nowadays. At some point I'm just stuck. Let's play h6, a stupid move, controlling g5 square, so that restricting knight e4 and preparing bishop e6. Knight f2. What is going on? Let's play knight f5, just attacking e3. And Queen to g5, attacking e3 again. This looks very good for black already, because if white plays e4, this weakens d4 square and makes bishop g2 absolutely bad. So I'll be happy to see this e4 played. At the same time, there are already some problems of a tactical kind. For example, here I have something like knight h4, if I'm not mistaken. No, knight h4, just bishop d5. It's just another blunder. Okay, thanks God I didn't play that. So white also wants to castle now. So I can prevent it, I think, by playing knight to e7. So I played kind of knight f5 and queen g5, then came back with the knight to e7, but my queen is now active, so there is a difference. A slight difference, of course, I understand, but anyways. But maybe I chipped nothing, to be honest. To be honest. It's time to complete the development somehow, but which could be a good move. Bishop g4 followed by bishop f3. Let's try bishop g4. No. Doesn't look like a very good move, but still. And now, yeah, I have nothing. Simply nothing here. I simply have nothing, but yeah. Okay, let's play this move. Oh. Oh. Please don't tell me I blundered something. Rook takes f2. Oh. Yeah, I saw rook takes f2, but I didn't see anything concrete there. It was definitely possible, yeah. But it only looked like giving up in exchange to me. For no serious compensation, I mean. Okay, it's time to, well, to make some concrete moves to define the position. Yeah, probably queen g6 is not a good move. Let's try to attack something at least. Maybe to create some weaknesses, I don't know. I have only 1 minute, I have to be quick. So my only hope that this knight on h3 won't be that active for a long time. So that I will definitely have some tricks. Okay, this square should be occupied. And probably I have some threats, but in fact I think there is nothing, simply. Except for the time trouble. Yeah. But this endgame might be promising. Because I have no weaknesses, at least no serious weaknesses, but white has some problems. Some pawns are weakened. For example, d3, b2 potentially. So I can attack something at least. Okay. For instance, this. D3 is hanging now. Maybe next move will be A4. Yeah, just fixing B2, another weakness in white's position. Now, okay, let's protect D5 square. Let's protect F5 square as well. C6 was not necessary. Yeah, C6 was a bad decision. D4 was possible for white now. Yeah. B2. Come to me. So it's time to improve. This guy takes just a blunder. But I can understand because white has no time. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, it was very tough. It was very tough for me. I don't know, let's have a look if I had anything in the very beginning, because it felt like, yeah, I had something. But maybe I was mistaken. So F5, bishop E3. Oh, maybe F4 here. Maybe F4. Let's have a look. G takes F4. E takes F4. Could be dangerous. So if bishop takes here, then knight G6 with the tempo. Attacking the guy, and well, my queen is here to join the attack very soon. I mean, H4 square becomes really critical. I don't think that white is okay here. So let's say knight takes F4. So knight takes F4 looks better. I'm not quite sure if I have a compensation for this sacrificed material. But position looks, well, rather fresh. I don't know, let's say bishop takes here, pawn takes here. Well, no. If knight G6 now, then simply castles. Okay, so maybe knight G6 here. Knight takes G6. Bishop takes E3. Well, yeah, it's possible, because after knight F8 I play queen H4. Pinning the pawn F2 and knight on F8 is one of a sudden trapped. So, yeah, here I'm definitely okay, but yeah, if takes E3, then I take on G6. And I have a sort of queen H4 check. Oh, I have some tricks at least. I have some tricks. Yeah. So F4 deserved attention. F4 deserved attention. But I thought that, well, bishop E3 would be also good. So F takes E3, takes on E4, knight takes E4. So maybe, yeah, maybe D5 was the best option for me. So I decided not to do this because I thought, okay, I would have anyway a good position. I can play against E3 and so on. C takes D5, knight takes D5. I was a bit nervous about this D5 square in general, because knight looks a bit vulnerable, especially after queen B3, pinning this guy on D5. But I think I can just play king H8 and everything is fine. E3 is hanging, D3 is weakened. At the very least I have threats like knight D5 to B4 and so on. So white has very vulnerable pawns here in the center. And the king, which can't find a good place to hide. Yeah. So I guess, yeah. By the way, Wishmaster, Queen H4 castles, I think it is about the variation where the knight was on F8. If castles, then bishop goes away from E3, let's say to F4 or D4, it doesn't really matter, and knight on F8 drops. And I have two minor pieces, right? Or not? No, I don't have two minor pieces. I'm a... What was that? An exchange down? Probably, yeah, probably. So here I think black's main chances are. So after simple taking on e3, taking on e4, and then d5. Yeah, so that's just what I missed. For sure. Because after h6, well, it was too slow, of course, and it felt very slow. Yeah. It felt very slow, and no questions. White managed to equalize here after that. And I managed to win only because, well, White underestimated my play against his weaknesses. Maybe I just had more experience in playing such positions. That's why I had more chances. Okay, so it's time for the last game today, guys. I'm sorry for this because, yeah, probably many of you didn't play. So I want to finish this show with the game against Mostrovski. So he asked several times today to play, and you know what, Orest is very talented player, especially talented blitz player. So let's see what it will be. And I play with black, so it will be g4. Believe me, it will be g4. Orest, you're welcome to make your favorite grob attack move. Come on. Yeah. It will be something. It will be something. Oh shit. It is already very interesting. Whew. So I achieved not much, maybe slightly better pawn structure, slightly. But, well, this position is not about the pawn structure, it is about something else. H4, let's keep developing the pieces. Is it possible to simplify a position a bit, like knight h5? Let's try knight h5, I don't know. Is it good or bad? But it looks interesting to try. Yeah, queen e3, definitely. So the bishop is protected, it's still protected. That is annoying. And my bishop on e6 is hanging. That's the point. Oh. Maybe I can take on g5 and after h takes g5 to like queen e7. Or maybe queen d7 right now. And then castle's long. Yeah, but queen d7, I don't like queen d7 because of knight d5 or something. I don't know what would be the best move here. Really, position is very complicated. Okay, I'll take on g5. But I have a feeling it's not correct. Oh. So my knight on h5 is kind of misplaced now. Well, nice trick. Can I just play knight f6 now, just going away? Not quite sure, but it feels like it's time to go back, to go home with the knight. The bishop takes e6, rook takes h1 is prepared. What a position. Just a complete mess. Just a complete mess. My goodness. It's a real challenge for my brain now. Okay, let's take with the bishop. Bishop d7 check, I take with the king. I think I'm alright there. Yeah, but queen g3. That's true. So g7 is kind of hanging. What can I do here? Back to h5? That's stupid. You know, king f8 maybe. But then what? How to play with this bad pieces? Maybe bishop e6 now. Bishop e6 looks interesting. But then queen g6. Yeah, a lot of weaknesses. A lot of weaknesses in black's position here. Well. Yeah. It's really a challenge. Okay, let's go back. Knight e5, queen b7. Maybe just castling here. Let's castle. After this, knight e5 will make sense because with queen b7 and rook b8 and, well, something maybe. Knight e5, okay. Check. Okay, let's put the knight in this position. I think it should be good. Square. Well, what is next? Let's put the rook in this position. I also think it should be a good square, but maybe knight e5 was better. Yeah, I missed that. Shit. Okay. Let's get rid of this bishop. It might be very, very annoying and very soon, honestly. Take with the knight or with the rook? With the rook. No time. Have to be quick. So let's remove this. What to do now? Let's cover d5. Just restricting knight e3 a bit. D5 now? Let's try it. G6. Looks like everything is more or less protected, right? Yeah. Let's try to be active this way. Centralization. These little tricks. Goodness. Yeah. It's a draw. It's a draw. It's a draw. Ugh. Yeah. I was kind of completely tired playing this game. Whew. Completely exhausted. I was exhausted in the very beginning of the show, but now I'm just like, yeah, I'm dead. Okay? I'm dead. So, I don't even know where both sides could have improved their play. It was a complete mess from the very start till the very end. Okay? So, thanks a lot for the game. Yeah, playing to you rest is usually just a great experience. It's fun because you play very unusual openings and, well, your play is usually very, very testing. Thanks a lot for this. And thanks a lot to everybody who played me today. And also, I'm sorry that I didn't play all the games. I mean, I didn't accept all the challenges, but it never happens. So there are a lot of guys challenging me, and I have only limited amount of time. So some games are not played. So thanks for your patience. I think that anyway, you squeezed some useful information for you because I was trying to explain my thoughts. I was trying to analyze a bit each and every game, right? And to tell you something new. So I do believe that next time, I mean next Friday, will be better than this one. I will try to sleep well before the show, right? I will try to train a bit more, right? Because now when I have this strange state of mind and strange state of health, I have to train more, right? To be in a good shape. So my shape now, as you can see, is far from being good. So, well, I will do my best to train more and to come up with a better play. Anyways, thanks a lot for being with me. All premium members are welcome next Tuesday to the next episode of the Training Tuesday. It will be again a tactical paradise, but part 2, right? And well, take care. Have a nice weekend. Bye bye. See you.